was Engine by Eavesdrop. That was Engine Eavesdropping from the band Caroline from their 2022 debut album, also titled Caroline, that came out on Rough Trade Records. That album was my second favorite album of the year 2022, only being beaten out by, if I'm correct, Ants from Up There by Black Country New Road. Good afternoon, listeners of Coffee Noise. I'm your host, DJ Marlin, and if you can't believe it, it's Tuesday once again. How are we doing out there, listeners? Today it is, let me check my watch because I am horrible at remembering dates. Today is the 27th of February, 2024. This is going to be the last week of February. This year was actually a leap year. So the month will end on Thursday, making it the 29th of February. What to do on a leap year? That's actually a good question now that I'm thinking about it. Oh heavens, what do you do on a leap year? Well, I mean, I assume it's just like, any other year, really. Hmm. You know what? That's actually a really good question. Wow, I really had to, think about that. But, while I'm getting lost and thinking, let's get a quick look at the weather. How about we do that? Right now in the city of Edinburgh, we're looking at 93 degrees with a high at 94 and a low of 69 degrees. So it's a very warm day. We're supposed to get like a what they call a cold front, but really it's like dropping down to like the high 60s, low 70s. So more of a cool front. But I digress from that. Let's see. What do I want to talk about before we get back into the music, actually? There's a lot of things I want to talk about over the weekend, really. The internet. Yeah, let's talk about the internet for a moment. Hmm. I've been trying to learn how to, like, not learn, or trying to remember recipes by memory. Easier said than done. I'm having difficulties trying to remember like how to make a cookie. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. I know there's people out there who do know how to do that, cooking from the head, everything like that. But yeah. Also, I wanted to say shout out to my mom's. This Friday is her birthday. She is turning 50 years old, so shout out to my mom. And next month, listeners, I turn 21. I don't know how to deal with that, really. Not that, like, it's not that I can't accept it. It's gonna be like, oh wow, I'm 21 years old. What can you do when you're 21? Hmm. I'd really have to think about that personally. Like, oh, look at you now, you're getting older, something like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting older. I mean, I don't mean like that. It's not wrong, but I do find it kind of dumb to be scared of being older. It's something you really, not that you just cannot really have control over. I can't make myself younger, nor I can make myself even more older if I wanted to. It just is what it is, and you can either take that in a very positive manner, or you could probably take that in a very negative manner. I try to stay neutral, but if you don't know, go into the positive area. Don't go into the negative, because then you're gonna be starting like, oh, what's the meaning of me? I don't know. I mean, I'm a philosopher, and even then, we don't really know what's the meaning of life. Yeah, it's a very messy topic. Anyways, let's get into some emo music. This is Modern Baseball. And that was the band. Excuse me, please. Home is Where. That track's called Sewn Together from the Membrane of the Great Sea Cucumber. Interesting name. I've always had a thing for that name. Like, the titles of Midwestern emo songs. It's very out there, very. I guess the right word to say would be confusing. Not confusing in like a very negative sense, but confusing in a very positive sense. It adds on it adds on to it. What do I mean by that? Hmm. There's a lot of things we could add about that. It adds a sense of uniqueness, and I guess the difficult names of the tracks were very long and intricate. They add into what the song is. You know, the songs are very confusing. They don't really make a lot of sense sometimes, and that's something I personally find very attractive. Most people probably won't, and like I always say at the end of these shows, hey, teach their own. I can't make someone say, oh yeah, this is a good song and you should listen. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to get y'all students to listen to something you'd probably want to listen to often, because oh, I don't know, it's not the type of music you listen to, or it's just yeah, because there's always music that one's not going to listen to often. um Me personally, I've been going into more of an electronic sound, while my other friends, they're more into classic hip hop, Brit pop, or what's that other musical genre? Or if you want to be more recent, 2010s pop music, like MGMT, which, by the way, if you haven't heard their new album, definitely check it out. It's worth listening to. I think it's like 4 or 5 years since their previous album, and I love it. I think it's a great record. Um, would it make my top 30 albums a year list? Well, it's still too early. We're only at the end of February, so I'm not saying no, but I'm also not saying yes, because hey, we got like 10 more months of great music to come out. And I want to more wait till those happen. Maybe something might pop out and be like, "Whoa, this is new," or "This is different. What's this?" That's kind of what we should wait for, really. How long will that take? Well, I don't really know. Uh, I should probably have like a good idea of what albums will make on that year list, but you gotta wait for some time. Anyways, let's get straight back into the music. This is Buzzing by Mausatui. Alright, listeners, and we're back. It is 2:31. We already finished the first half of the show. We're on to the second half of it. Let's see. What do I want to talk about, actually? Ooh, I got it now. Okay, so we're pretty much all college students, right? I'm pretty sure like one thing we can all agree on. We're all college students, and what's the go-to college student meal? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bam. If you guess cup ramen, you win. What do you win? Nothing, cause I don't have a prize with me. Um, I can give you like a mechanical pencil, I guess. I don't, I don't know really. But anyways, let's talk about cup ramen noodles. Why is it so difficult to find a cup noodle that's actually, I don't know, not loaded with sodium? Like, I know cup ramen isn't the healthiest thing to eat. Nowhere even near. Like there's like probably hundreds of other meals that are far more healthier. I mean, I think even a burger would be better, like healthier ones. Like a burger isn't good, like fully, but like it has more to it. It's more satiating. A ramen noodle, what do you got? It's like noodles and flavoring. That's it. So it doesn't last. Like you feel hungry. Very quick actually. But my main thing is like, why can't they make a ramen that has like less sodium but still retains the flavor? Like I see y'all scientists out there, making food better, taste better, last longer on store shelves. Why can't you make something with less sodium? I saw something on like Instagram over the weekend. Like, if you could make a snack 0 calorie, which snack would you have it as? For me, no. I would love to have some 0 calorie chips. I'm trying to get healthier, trying to get my summer body on, even though I'm like not that kind of person. But like chips are like my main weakness. Especially like those hot chips you get from the Stripes or Dollar Store. Ooh, those are good. They taste good. The health wise, yeah. When you actually read the what's it called? What's it called in the back? The nutrition label. I think that's yeah, the nutrition label. You realize, oh wow, this is like really unhealthy for my body. You know what's actually really good, and I know a lot of people can't really eat it because it's expensive. Um, veal, deer meat. I think it's amazing. It tastes great, low fat, high protein. I mean, I only get it because a family friend gives us the meat because her husband hunts a lot. It's like there's too much meat, just take some off our hands. And some deer meat, spaghetti, pasta, burgers, even. That's the stuff. Anyways, let's get right back to music. Actually, let's play on some classic indie rock, and we'll hit back with some Midwestern emo. Let's start off with some Car Seat Headrest. Remember, you're listening to Coffee Noise with DJ Marlin. Don't touch that dial. That is honestly by American Football. Um, I really do love American football, both the sport and the band. Personally, when we're talking about the sport, I'm personally a fan of the New York Giants. I am still not over on why we decided to trade Odell Beckham, um, or why Tommy DeVito was only in the spotlight for like a few weeks and then he got pulled back into the darkness. I don't know, The Giants, they giveth and they taketh, I guess. I don't know. Um, Sports are weird. When you actually break it down to its minimum components, sports are weird. It's just a bunch of grown adults or even children, really. I've seen some kids at some barbecues or the outside the bar waiting for their parents. But football is weird. American football. Now, football, what we call in America soccer. Over in the UK, where there are hooligans. Oh, it's like a whole subculture there. Kind of violent, actually. Um, I like watching football, but especially the Premier League. Like Premier League football is great. But some of those fans get like really rowdy and like they're wanting to fight really for their team. It's honestly kind of comedic, really. It's like I get it. You love your team. Hey, I'm gonna support my team. There's a limit though. Like y'all are out here. You're like. You see those videos on YouTube? They're like fighting. They're already like, oh, it's a mini war, really. It's interesting. Now, American football, the band is a band, so I mean, I guess you could say there is some argument. So it's mostly within fans saying like, "Oh, what's the best American football song?" or out of the American football trilogy, which album is the best? Majority of people would say, "Well, it's album one." But that I think it's their second album. It's like some deep cuts on that album. Really good underrated tracks. Also, the third one, by I personally like the Second American Football album just a tad bit more, just a bit more. Let's talk about the last two songs we've been playing for today. The first track is gonna be "Child Soldier" by One Little Tricks Point Never. I believe that comes off the album Replica, so it's a very not chop and screwed. It's a sample based album slash track, so it's gonna sound weird, but it's gonna like come together if that makes sense. And then the final track decided to end off with the microphones, with the track, wires, and cord. You know what? Yeah, let's just get into the track. Um, this is One Tricks Point Never. Alright, listeners, and we are back. Right now it is 2:58, and we're about to finish up the show for today. Let's see, what are some final things I want to say? Well, as usually, this week's playlist, a total of 9 tracks, can be found on Instagram. You can follow me there at Watford2003, so that's WATFORD and numbers 2003. I make the playlist for both Apple Music and Spotify, so we get so y'all listeners on some great tracks. And let's see, some final thoughts. I like eating yogurt for breakfast. That's kind of the vibe. Like 2 little cups of yogurt, nom 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 nom. 120 calories. That's a breakfast for me. You know what I'm saying? Vanilla yogurt, but the dairy-free kind. Anyways, I'm your host, DJ Marlin. I'll see you next week. Remember, you're tuned into Vaquero Radio, the Valley's only student station. Goodbye.